All right, here's part two of my adventures in Carlsbad at Aptera's headquarters. There is very specific news I was waiting to be officially released before I uploaded this video, but that hasn't come yet, so I'll probably just make a part three if those plans ever come to fruition publicly. Also, if you're watching this on your TV or laptop, don't get your panties in a bunch about the aspect ratio. This video would have almost no value visually, regardless of dimensions, so simply listen and enjoy.
It's like the production intent vehicles, there's going to be between 12 and 16 of them, but there's going to be, when I say like maybe we could sell one to a customer, maybe it's one of those production intent vehicles, but low volume will be the vehicles we're selling, and they'll all be coming out, and they won't be tested. It's after
the testing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said low volume at first, then?
Yeah, low volume to begin, and just to make sure everything's good to go. And also, it will depend on also capital and how much funds we've received. We are under full confidence and understanding that once we're in low volume production, the investors will come, like we won't be able to shoo them away. Yeah. Like they'll all say, the ones that we have lined up, like I'm in. But the deal we have now is more risk adverse, and it allows, it's good for people that, like family offices, and they could throw in $1 million and get something, and we have a good option for us so that we can offer them, equity or money, but yeah.
Did they release the IPO yet? Or
No.
Are they thinking about it?
That will happen at production time.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you think the IPO will be after the first 2,000, or like between the first 1,000 and 2,000 or something?
Even maybe before the first 1,000.
Before the first 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good.
The plan is like right around production, low volume production starting. And right now we're very to be a company that IPOs, you have to be. There's like a few things you have to meet, with the SEC and
Yeah.
And we're like right there. Like we are. Our VP of Finance has set it up so he's done it before, taking companies to IPO, and so that's good. Like we'll be ready to IPO once we're in production.
But you'll let the shareholders know first?
Yes. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
And look out for announcements,
But
but anything could change depending on the people upstairs making the decision.
Yeah, of course.
But if it's a SPAC, I think Aptera's already pretty much met the criteria or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're trying to go like the regular IPO route?
That's our plan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
How long do you think it will take to train an assembly worker for a plant production?
Not long, because a lot of it's going to be automated. So really not long. Like I would say even a couple weeks, like if that. But
Okay, so
it depends on how fast you learn and how good our training program is, but
Right, but
it will
compared
be
to like UAW standards and things like that, how long do you think it's going to take to be able to get a person to be?
that question I
This-
don't have enough of knowledge to
it's
answer.
it's a little different because it's
Give me all these higher. What do you think?
So that's it leads to what's the scale, what's the level of automation in the manufacturing process?
It's
and
highly
how,
automated.
So what's the level of skill necessary to be an assembler of an Aptera?
It's probably pretty high because it's 12 minutes per station, right? So
Yeah.
12 minutes means that they're having to do a lot of tasks. And then if you're only hiring 20 people total, then
You
there's
want
like
them to be-
one and a half people on average or something like that per station.
Yeah.
So they have to do a lot. They have to know more
you
than
want-
one or two things,
You want
basically.
to have experience doing something
Yeah.
like it.
Just hire somebody from Amazon that does all the packing. Just throw them in there. They'll do it.
Yeah.
Because the robotized, that they just do the same assembly line thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So throwing them into this would be like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
So to make it happen sooner, I'll volunteer a few hours.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just wouldn't the route be the easiest to offer different colors? Not that, it seems complicated, but I don't know why make them all similar when that'd be the easiest thing to vary among models.
I'm right there with you, and I think that there's room for the plan to change, but I think in an effort to keep everyone on same page, guiding lights, focus, one thing only, don't change, like stop diverting, don't think it's good is good enough. Like I think that ethos is what's like why we've said we're just doing silver. But I think once we get closer, Jerry, I agree with you. Like there should be options, and why would it be so hard to like?
Yeah, I mean, of all things,
Right.
It's kind of fish and touch on there.
I agree.
It could be a roll of silver, a roll of black.
Yeah.
Well, just like you were saying, you could
And
always
or you
take
can
it
have
to
a
somebody else right
long
away,
silver,
right?
Right. Yeah.
So he has a suggestion, though.
Yeah.
The wraps.
Oh, you're talking about the having no wrap at all?
Yeah.
No wrap at all, or,
Yeah,
or immediately.
Well,
Yeah.
they say you need UV protection there anyways.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. I think that I don't think any vehicle should be sold with regular vinyl wrap. I think they should all have PPF from the beginning because it's going to be problematic. Like people are going to look at it in the future and say, oh, the vehicle kind of degrades over time, but the PPF is not going to degrade within 5 years or something like that. But then the vinyl
ceramic
is
coating.
most likely. Yeah, well, PPF has vinyl ceramic coating built into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because a lot of these
Cosmetic
YouTubers
PPF.
that have the really expensive cars put the ceramic coating on it usually lasts a long time. And the only reason why they're doing it is because of driving around and they've got rocks that kick up out in the back of somebody and hits the paint. They don't want to have to spend money on it. That's why they want to get a ceramic coating on it. So.
We need a ceramic coating where we live.
Yeah.
That destroys every paint job.
Yeah, plus matte I think has degrades even faster than gloss as well, so it's even double whammy.
Oh, I like the glossy finish too. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of the plan of record.
Oh, the plan is gloss right now?
I think so, from what I understand.
Okay.
Not matte.
Really?
I've never heard matte finish.
Well, that's all we've been seeing, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's not
That's not a
the.
selling
Maybe a
point.
semi-gloss
That's-
Yeah.
feel. It's like a semi-gloss feel.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily matte. Matte has no shine to it.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a lot of shine to it. It's kind of like a, if you go to paint, it's like a semi-gloss.
Gotcha.
You should
It's not a
see
glossy.
how
So
they
you-
painted the bank. So they painted the fiberglass, and it's like a lot more glossy than it is matte, and it's really pretty.
And that's what we're trying to go towards, more like that?
Yeah,
Super glossy?
Not the matte look. I've never heard Jason say like matte, and also doesn't seem right.
A lot of wraps don't feel to me like they're very glossy.
You
anyway.
do.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
think that maybe is the glossy
So,
wrap, but I mean, I don't. He's the car guy.
yeah.
It needs to look pretty and it needs to move.
So some like PPF actually puts paint fragments inside of it.
Okay.
Like I forget the name of it right now, but yeah, they put paint fragments inside of it to where it really looks high gloss. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference between that and regular paint. Yeah.
We've seen somebody with a wrap that made it look like it was like an iridescent chrome kind of color, which was really cool.
But if it's installed like a windshield, you can't pop it off.
Well, they pop off the under latch. Like, so when it's affixed to a
So
a
this
CFS
piece-
part.
Okay, so this is affixed like a windshield to another piece.
Yes. Which
But the entirety of the assembly can come off.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
That's what I thought.
yeah. For the roof and the hat. I mean, for the roof, no, because it'll be bonded to the fiberglass. For the hat, should be bonded to it.
So like if hail damage happens and the roof needs to be replaced, that's like a windshield guy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this one, I guess technically, if you find throwing out the CFSMC part too, you could just get it like, for the guys. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you can totally pop it off if you need to repair anything.
And all that's underneath here is just windshield wiper stuff that's going to be there, and then the HVAC system, I'm sure,
Like everything.
and then the computer, obviously.
Yeah.
So kind of the major components for driving this whole machine is right here.
Yes. Like the back is pretty empty because it's very front heavy, for good stability. So like from here to here is like almost every computer in the vehicle.
Okay. Yeah.
What is the weight distribution?
I think it's 65%.
60/40.
65.
Oh, 65. Okay.
So in general, this
Fine,
would be
you have to
hard to
think about
access,
that.
right?
It means that each wheel's carrying a third of the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for like a user to get under here and do anything at all, right?
It's not hard. It's just we don't want people to need to do it.
Okay.
It's not hard. You can pop
I've
the
seen
latch
that
on.
there's a pull attack thing
Yeah.
right there. But
Well, that's for the prototype. Yeah.
Oh, that's for the prototype. Okay.
Yeah, it'll do something similar to that. Right? You can remove this piece if you need to service anything, but all the wiper fluid and stuff you fill in the door. So really,
Yeah.
there's
That's
When I was
right.
asking about
Yeah.
attachment mechanism, is it like body style where you're pushed to clip in, or is it what's going to be what? So this is attached to a more structural piece.
Yes,
That more
that clips
structural
in.
piece is a clipped-in piece.
Mm-hmm.
So it just literally you pull and pop it off.
Yep, you got it. You got it. Oh. Thanks for coming.
I mentioned the color of the wrap to Chris as well, and him and Audra weren't in sync about that. He was under the impression that the final color will look pretty much exactly like what we've seen. Audra believes it will be a more glossy finish. Reservation holders have already given me confidence that the more glossy finish will be in higher demand, especially as the general public begin to hear more about the vehicle and see wrap degradation over time, which is also why cosmetic PPF is the obvious choice for proper brand representation. Also, Chris did confirm that there will be several regenerative braking settings, including the option for no regen at all, even without putting the vehicle into neutral. In light of a discussion from one of my previous videos, I actually tested going downhill in neutral with my Gen 2 Chevy Volt on my drive back to the Bay Area. It was quite interesting, as that's something I've never attempted before. When I put the car in regular drive mode with regenerative braking off and without engaging the paddle regen, the car would really rapidly lose about 20 plus miles per hour within, let's say, 10 seconds, even going downhill on a highway. But when I put the car in neutral while going downhill, the vehicle would speed up, and on a flat plane, the deceleration curve was nowhere near as sharp as having it in drive. But of course, driving that way does suck because you have to manually engage drive mode before you can accelerate again. Most people don't pinch pennies hard enough to want to do that. Your Aptera will certainly have a neutral option, but hopefully Aptera can achieve the same results from a zero regen drive setting as from putting it into neutral without an automatic transition to drive when the accelerator pedal is pressed. All of those massive hills on certain stretches of highway definitely feels like a California thing, by the way. We don't see that on the East Coast or any of the countries I've been to, from what I've gathered. Like I told you folks in the last video, Aptera has brought the Gamma over to a previously undisclosed country to garner further investment. As you now know, they'll be in Abu Dhabi, and some deals have already been reached, which is honestly pretty exciting. I'll talk about this in more detail in my next video, coming very soon, probably tomorrow. Until then, like and subscribe. More interesting topics ahead.